Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back. Can you see my screen, everyone? Online?
Yes.
Fine. Yeah, so yesterday we discussed about servers, right? Server architecture, what is server, types of servers, right? And different servers, different types of servers. And first phase of implementation, second phase of implementation, third phase of implementation, and advanced architecture, which is the Docker architecture, right? And also operating system and types of operating systems. Fine. So today we are going to discuss about networks basics, right? So what is network? Types of networks. So different types of networks are available: LAN, WAN, MAN. Different networks available, right? So IP address, subnet mask, gateway, router, firewall, failover, load balancer, right? So we are going to discuss this. So these are very basics, very important. So before going to cloud, first we have to understand this. If you understand this, you can easily understand cloud concepts, AWS concepts, right? So can we mute everyone? Some background noise is coming here. Yeah. Fine. So what is network? What is networking? Anyone? What is networking? What is network? It's a communication between servers, right? We can communicate from one server to other server, right? We can share the data, we can take the data, we can share the resources, right? Yeah, see here. So a computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. Like in data center, normally multiple servers we connect to network, either LAN network, LAN, local area network, or Wi-Fi, or wide area network, right? So as per the requirement, we can connect that devices, right? See here. So this is a LAN connectivity, local area network connectivity, right? So through network, these systems will connect to share the resources, to share the data across the network, right? Across the data center. So what are the characteristics of computer network? Characteristics. So share resources from one computer to another, create files and store them in one computer, access those files from other computers connected over the network, right? So every developer, tester, they store the data into one central location, which is a central computer, which is a server, right? So in the server only directly developers develop the code, developers develop the applications, testers they access the servers, they access applications, they test the applications, right? Yeah, so one location we save all the data, central location, which is server. Through network everyone can connect to the servers, right? Yeah. Now, so connect a printer, scanner, or a fax machine to one computer within the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network. What does it mean? So one printer or one scanner or one fax machine we can configure as a network device. So everyone can access through network. For example, one school, let us take school. In the school, 5 floors are there. So in 5 floors, instead of configuring 5 printers, what we will do, we can configure one printer only, and we can configure as a network printer. So when we take the prints, for example, the printer we configure in 3rd floor or 2nd floor. From any floor, you can print the documents. Through network, the request will go, right? Yeah. So due to this, what will happen when we use network printers, network channels? What will happen? What are the advantages here? costing will be reduced, cost saving. So instead of configuring every one printer in one floor, only one printer we can configure as a network printer in the school, right? So that everyone can print the documents. Due to that, costing will be saved, right? Yeah. Next one, hardware devices required to set up the computer network. See here, network cables required, and also distributors, routers, internal network cards, external network cards. These are all the things required. So this is about physical environment. I'm talking about physical environment. So currently we are not using this, but this terminology we have to understand, right? So network cables. First one, network cables. So network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is category 5 cable, which is RJ45. We can say Cat 5 cable also, category 5. See here, this is the Cat 5 cable. So when we buy any router, when we procure any router, along with the router, we get one cable, which is category 5 cable. Cat 6 also available currently, but category 5 is standard cable, right? So when we use Wi-Fi, when you compare with the cable network, when you compare with the category 5 cable network, so this is higher speed compared to Wi-Fi, right? So when you can try once, you can use Wi-Fi as well as this cable you can connect from router to your system. You can see some difference. So category 5 is a bit faster. Okay. Yeah. Next one, distributors. So a computer can be connected to another one via serial port. But if you need to connect many computers to produce a network, this serial connection will not work. So what does it mean? So this distributor is mainly for loopback adapter. We can say loopback adapter. So one network to one switch to other switch, we can establish the connection. Next one, router. So what is router? A router is a type of device which acts as the central point among computers and other devices that are a part of the network. It is equipped with holes called ports. Computers and other devices are connected to a router using network cables. Nowadays, routers comes in wireless modes, wireless routers, right? Let us go and see here. See here, this is the router. Yeah, so normally earlier we used to use cables to connect routers. Currently we are using, everywhere we are using Wi-Fi routers only, right? So next one, network card. What is network card? So network card is a necessary component of a computer without which a computer cannot connected over a network. So it is also known as the network adapter, network interface card, NIC card, which is available in the desktops or laptops, right? So most branded computers have network card pre-installed. Network cards are two types, internal and external cards, right? So earlier, while using desktops, like 90s and early 2000, we used to use desktops only by the time, right? So laptops also there, but too much cost by the time, right? By the time we used to use external network cards, we used to insert one PCI card, PCI, peripheral interface card. So that we used to connect, we used to insert into the motherboard in the desktop. We used to install driver, we used to configure the network card. So however, with the introduction of laptops, advanced technology, we are not using external cards here. All the cards are inbuilt in the motherboard, right? Yeah. Now internal network cards. So motherboard has a slot for internal network card and where it is to be installed. Internal network cards are two types, in which first type is peripheral component interconnect, PCI connection. So while the second type uses industry standard architecture, ISA cards. Network cables are equipped to provide network access. See here. So this is the internal network card. This card we used to insert inside of the desktop, right? So external network cards. External network cards are two types, wireless and USB. Wireless network cards need to be installed into the motherboard. However, no network cable is required to connect to the network, right? So see here. So this black one is external card, black one, right? So we used to connect this card to the USB, like RJ45 port, right? RJ45 means our network cable port. So this is a USB, universal serial bus, right? USB card is easy to use and connects via USB port. Computers automatically detect USB card and can install the drivers required to support the USB network card automatically, right? So we used to use USB also, right? Next one, what are the important types of computer networks? These are important. So we have 4 types of important networks are available. See here. So PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN. So PAN stands for Personal Area Network, LAN stands for Local Area Network, WAN stands for Wide Area Network, MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. Right? So let us go one by one. So what is PAN? So yeah, PAN is a computer network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile, or personal digital assistant. PAN can be used for establishing communication among these personal devices for connecting to a digital network and the internet. So PAN means here. So this is a PAN network, right? So when you are working on your laptop or desktop, we can use Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, right? So around a person, Bluetooth printer, Bluetooth, yeah, so mobile, Bluetooth phone, right? So earphones, whatever you want, right? So around a person, within the room, within the floor, this will work. Okay. Instead of using wide keyboard, wide mouse, we can use this PAN, personal area network, using Bluetooth. Right. So what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages using this network? We'll try to understand. So first we discuss about characteristics of PAN. So it mostly personal device network. It could be within a limited area. Limited area means maximum 10 meters distance will work. More than that it will not work. Right. So allows you to handle the interconnection of IT devices that are surrounding of a single user. Right. So PAN includes mobile devices, tablet, and laptop. So advantage of PAN. So PAN networks are relatively secure and safe. It offers only short range solution up to 10 meters only. Right. So yeah, strictly restricted to small area within the room, within the floor. Right. So next one, disadvantages. Distance limits, maximum 10 meters only will work. If you move other floor, other place, it will not work. Okay, so these are very secure. Okay, next one, LAN. What is LAN? LAN stands for Local Area Network. It is a group of network devices that allows communication between various connected devices. It covers the smallest area such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. Right? So in hospitals, schools, and colleges, factories, we used to use LAN connectivity. Right? So local area network. For example, hospital. If you take hospital, so one server will be there in server room. From reception, from OP, right? From other tests, everyone can connect to the servers. Centrally, they can connect the data. They can access data from any floor, any place in the hospital, right? Through LAN connectivity, local area network connectivity, right? Yeah, see here, this is the LAN connectivity, local area network connectivity. So what are the characteristics of LAN? It is a private network. It is completely private network. This is not a public network, right? So LAN operates at a relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems, right? So LAN, when you compare it with LAN, this is higher speed, as we discussed. So Wi-Fi router will be having one cable, right? So when you use that cable, so normally people used to use the cable while connecting Tatkal tickets, while booking Tatkal tickets. They connect cable. So when you connect cable from router to your laptop, that would be higher speed. That will give higher speed instead of using Wi-Fi. You can try once. Okay. So definitely that will be higher speed. Okay. Yeah. Advantage of LAN. So computer resources like hard disks, DVD RAM, printers can share local area networks. This significantly reduce the cost of hardware purchases. So when we are using printers or scanners, right, we can configure as network printer, network scanner, so that costing will be reduced, right? So data of all network users can be stored on the single hard disk of the server computer. It will be easy to manage data at one place, which makes data more secure, right? So all the users can connect to the servers. They save the data in server. Through network, they can access the data. That is more secure, right? Disadvantages. So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repositories. So LAN admin is not capable. Definitely, hackers will enter into the network, right? So LAN admin should be capable. Okay. Yeah. Next one, MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, right? So here MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. It covers the largest area than LAN, such as small towns, cities, etc. MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities, right? So here, this is Metropolitan Area Network, right? So within the city or different cities, we can communicate through MAN connectivity, MAN network. So what are the characteristics? It mostly covers towns and cities in a maximum 50 kilometers range, right? So most used medium is optical fiber cables, optical fiber. So when Geo network starts, by the time they used to configure fiber optic cables. So in the middle of the road, they used to put the cable inside of the road, right? So this is fiber optic cable. So this is very higher speed cable. So if you want to communicate within the city or other cities, so they use fiber optic cables. So advantages of MAN. It offers fast communication using higher speed carriers like fiber optic cables. It provides excellent support for an extensive size network and greater access to WANs. A MAN network mostly includes some areas of the city or entire city. For example, Geo, entire city they configured when they started the services, Geo service, right? Disadvantages of MAN. Here, yeah, the drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? You need more cables to establish MAN connection from one place to another. In MAN network, it is thought to make the system secure from hackers because more distance, right? Next one, WAN, wide area network. So WAN stands for wide area network. It covers large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country and continent, etc. So WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one organization. So this WAN connectivity, one organization they cannot manage because too much costing. That is why. So different organizations together they take this service from wide area network. So in wide area network they use satellite media, satellite communication, right? Because country to country, continent to continent, satellite communication. See here, this is the combination of LAN, MAN, WAN. So characteristics of WAN. Any organization can form a global integrated network using WAN. So advantages of WAN. So WAN helps you to cover large geographical area. Therefore, business offices situated at longer distance can easily communicate, right? So here, country to country, continent to continent. So here WAN will help you to communicate, so country to country. Disadvantages. The initial setup cost of investment is very higher, right? It is difficult to maintain the WAN network. You need skilled technicians and network administrators. There are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and the use of different technologies. You can configure this wide coverage. So broadband lines, right? See here. So LAN, WAN, MAN communication. Any questions up to here? Anyone? So these are the basic things. So just try to understand the terminology. That's it. In cloud, we don't do all these things. Okay. Yeah. Next one, IP address. What is IP address? Anyone? What is IP address? Every system will have IP address, right? Your laptop will have one IP address. Your desktop will have IP address. Server also will be having IP address. What is IP address? Anyone? What is IP?
Unique value.
Internet protocol. Yes. Yeah. Someone saying something. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
It's a unique value each system will have. So using this IP address, we can connect to that system remotely.
So every system will have unique address, right? Currently, IPv4 we are using. IPv4 means IP version 4 we are using. Maybe going forward we use IPv6, right? So IPv4 is a bit older version. Still we are using that. Okay. Yeah. See here. So IP stands for Internet Protocol, and IP address is unique address that identify a device on a internet or a local area network, right? So which is the set of rules governing the format of data sent via internet or local network, right? So every system, every server, every device will have one IP address. For example, so my system also having one IP address. Just type here CMD. Open command prompt. Just type here ipconfig. See here. So this is my IP address, IPv4 address. So here one more IP address it is showing. See here. Why this is showing two addresses here? Sometimes I connect from my home, my router. Sometimes I connect from institute router. That is why two virtual Ethernet cards it is showing. Two IP addresses, right? So every system will have only one IP. So when we connect your system, only one IP will be there, right? Yeah. So next one, types of IP addresses. So server, when we take server or desktop or laptop, how many IPs will be there? Only one IP, right? Yeah. Now, so there are various classification of IP addresses, and each category further contain some types. Okay. See here. Yeah. Normally, physical servers or physical laptop, physical desktop, only one IP will be there. When we go with cloud servers, two IPs will be there. Every cloud server will have two IPs. So first one is private IP address. Private IP address. Second one is public IP. Two IPs. Yeah. Every server will have two IP addresses. For example, this is Jenkins server in AWS. This is AWS console. Don't confuse here. From Thursday onwards, we'll start working on AWS. Okay. So this is a AWS server, Jenkins server. This is Kubernetes server. Okay. For example, when I start this server, so this server is starting here. See here, one IP will be available here. When I start the server, one public IP will be available. Yeah, private IP also important here. So we'll see that. We'll discuss that. See here. So when just wait for a few seconds. See here. So this is public IP. This is private IP, right? So every cloud server will have public IP, private IP. So what are the use of public IP? What are the use of private IP? So to connect your server, we use public IP. Once you log into the server, this private IP will be used for internal communication, right? So to connect server, we use public IP. That is only for connecting server. After that, it will be gone. So private IP is a permanent IP. Once you log into the server, this private IP will be available, right? How to connect, how to configure, we'll see that later. Okay. Yeah. Now, so private IP address, public IP address. So in public IP address, again, two types of IP address are there. In public IP, again, two types of IP addresses, which are like dynamic IP address and also static IP address. What is dynamic? What is static? Anyone? What is dynamic? Real time, guys. Any admins are there in our session? Any admins? What is public? What is dynamic IP?
It will change automatically.
IP address will be changed randomly. Static
Right.
IP address is nothing but it is a unique IP address.
Right. Fine. So dynamic IP, when we talk about dynamic IP, dynamically IP will be changed every time whenever we restart our server. Dynamically. So backend there will be a DHCP server. In data center, backend there will be a DHCP server. DHCP full form is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So what DHCP server will do, whenever we restart our server, right? So whatever IP address is ever assigned to the server, that will take back by DHCP server. Whenever the server is started, it will give new IP, right? So backend in data center, there will be a DHCP server. It will maintain the IP addresses. Dynamically, IP will be changed whenever we restart the system or server, right? So that is a dynamic IP address, dynamically changed. And second one, static IP. What is static IP? This is a permanent IP. Statically assigned the IP. It never changed. The IP will not be changed until you terminate your server, until you delete your server, right? In public IP addresses, we have two types of IPs, which are dynamic IP, static IP. Dynamically change the IP, and static IP is permanent IP, right? So along with this IPs, one more IP will be there in cloud. One more IP, which is elastic IP, that we will discuss later while working on AWS. Elastic IP addresses are very, very important, right? So if you assign dynamic IP to the server, so what will happen? Developers, testers, DevOps, everyone will connect the servers, right? So whenever the server is restarted, what will happen? This IP will be changed. Dynamic IP will be changed. So due to that, what will happen? Everyone will confuse when they want to access the server. That is why, so client asks you to assign elastic IPs only. In real-time projects, we don't use public IPs. We use elastic IPs only. Elastic IPs are not free of cost. So charges will be applied for elastic IPs. So client will pay the bills for that. Okay. So elastic IP is a static IP that we have to assign to the server. That never change until you terminate your server. Okay. So these IPs are very, very important while working on console. We'll see that. Okay. Yeah. Any confusion here? Any questions here? Anyone? What is public IP? What is private IP? What is dynamic IP? What is static IP? What is elastic IP? You understand, right, everyone? Any questions here? Yeah. So next one, subnet. What is subnet? Anyone? What is subnet? Anyone? Online guys? Subnet is a sub network, small network. Instead of a large network, we can create small network, sub network. Why we require small network? What are the use of this? For example, we have 1,000 servers out there, right? In that 1,000 servers, we have development servers, test servers, and production servers. So if you add all the servers in the same subnet, we cannot control the traffic. We cannot restrict the traffic. For example, in this floor, there is no rooms. There is no rooms. One class is going on there, right? Other class is going here. One class is going there. Some noise will be happen, right? Some disturbance will be happen. So when we segregate, we can control the noise. The same way in network also, whenever we segregate that network, small networks, sub-networks. You can control the traffic, inbound traffic, outbound traffic. So inside traffic, outside traffic, we can control, right? So how to create subnets, how to configure subnets. So we'll see that while working on VPC. So VPC is a concept which is available in AWS, virtual private network. VPC is a virtual private network. Virtual private cloud. VPN is a virtual private network. Virtual private cloud. So while working on that, we'll go deeper. Okay. Yeah. So see here, a subnet or subnet is a smaller network instead of a large network, right? See here. So these are the different subnetworks, small networks. Instead of a large network, we can divide small networks. So every network will have some network range. Okay. So using that IP address only, network range only, we can control the traffic. Right? See here. So 200.200.10.48/29. 200.200.10.56.56/29. So these are the ranges, different ranges. Okay, someone asking some question here in the chat. I have one general question about this course. Can you please tell me if you topic is? Yeah, we'll see that. Wait for some time. We'll see that. I'll show you course content. I'll show you course content. Wait for a few minutes. Okay. Yeah. So these are the sub networks, small networks inside of the large network. So every subnet will have one range. So why they are giving /29, /28, /25? What does it mean? We'll try to understand now. Okay. For example, go to Google and you can give subnet ranges. Click on subnet cheat chart here. You can see here. Go down here. See here. These are the subnet ranges. For example, these are the IP addresses /32/31/30, like this they gave, right? See here. So normally most of the time we use /24 and /16. Most of the time we use /24 /16 in cloud environment. So what is /24? So when we give /24, we can accommodate 256 IP addresses. We can connect 256 servers or systems in the subnet. That many servers or that many systems you can connect in the network. So when you give /16, 65,536. This many systems you can connect in the network. So you can divide network subnets like this. You can divide subnets like this by using network ranges, right? Yeah, we'll go deep dive while working on VPC, right? So I'm just giving overview. While working on AWS services, we'll go deep dive. Practically, we'll see this. Practically, we'll work on this. Okay. Yeah. Now, next one. What is network switch? What is network switch? A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables are plugged into a switch to enable communication between different network devices, right? So this is a traditional switch, network switch. So currently we are not using. So AWS vendors they are using. In cloud data centers, they are configuring switches. You don't need to configure any switches. Okay, we are using services from AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay. What is gateway? What is gateway? Gateway is a simply you can say router, network routers. If you want to communicate from one network to other network, we require some routing, routers. Using routers, we can communicate from one network to other network. So here, this network range is 10.0.0.0/8. This network range is 20.0.0.0/8. Two different ranges, two different networks. If you want to communicate two different networks, we require one gateway. Using that gateway, you can communicate, right? Next one, firewall. What is firewall? So firewall is a, what is firewall, anyone? What is firewall? Yeah. So firewall
It's
is
a
a
kind
network
of
security device. Yeah, go ahead, please. Someone saying something. Yeah, go ahead. Firewall is a
it's a kind of a protection. Unauthorized people cannot enter into this.
right. Yeah. So firewall is a network security device to control the inbound traffic, unauthorized access. Unauthorized access, we can allow, deny traffic. We use the firewalls, right? So firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming, outgoing traffic within the network. When we configure firewall, so we can allow, deny the traffic by using firewall rules, by creating firewall rules. See here. So this is normally in real-time projects. If you want to connect your systems or servers or your office network, how can we connect? Through internet. Through internet, first we can connect VPN. VPN will allow you to connect your office network. So through internet, we can access our networks, right? So internet is the most vulnerable network, right? So different threats, malwares, virus, right? So that is why. So most of the organizations, they use firewalls to control the traffic, to control the unauthorized access. See here. So good traffic. So firewall is allowing to connect your private network, your office network, right? So if you have any bad traffic, it will deny. As per the firewall rules, we create rules here, right? So firewall rules will allow, deny the traffic. So good traffic it will allow, bad traffic will not allow, right? Next one. So what is replication? What is failover? What is load balancer? What is replication, anyone? Replication. Replication
Like
is a,
whatever the rules are existing, that we are copying to the other one.
fine, correct. Yeah, so replication, when we talk about replication, so in real-time projects, so currently we are using cloud data centers, right? So different regions we are using, Mumbai region, Americas region, Europe regions, and APAC regions, different regions. So when we enable replication, so whatever applications we are using on Mumbai region, that can be replicated to other region. Why we require this? If any one region is down, our applications will not be down anywhere. You can access from other region. So replication is a synchronization. Data will be replicated to other place. Whenever any issues happen, we can access from other region, other data center. Failover. What is failover? We'll see that. So
If one
replication is
goes
a,
down, like backup. Sorry.
yeah, failover. Yes, one region is down, one resource is down, we can access from other region, right? So replication is a technology for copying and yeah, distributing so data and database object from one database to another, and then synchronizing between databases to maintain consistency and integrity of the data. In most cases, replication is a process of reproducing the data at the desired targets, right? See here. This is the replication, synchronization. So this is the primary region. Primary region, this is the secondary region. So in AWS, we have different regions are there. See here. This is AWS console. See here. These are the different regions, different data centers across the globe. US East North Virginia, US East Ohio, US West North California, US West Oregon. These are the America's regions, America's data centers, right? So Africa data center, Cape Town. These are the Asia Pacific. In this Asia Pacific, we have Mumbai region. So Hong Kong, Jakarta, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney. Like, so for example, we are working on Mumbai region. Our servers, our database are available in Mumbai region. So we can enable these applications to Singapore region. sometimes what will happen? Our region will not be accessible. So that automatically our data will be accessible from Singapore when we enable replication. These are all data centers. So AWS is providing, right? See here. Europe region is also available. Europe, Frankfurt, Ireland, London, Milan, Paris. These are the Europe. Middle East also available. Bahrain, UAE, right? South America also one region. These are all data centers across the globe. AWS is providing, right? Yeah. So one region is down, primary region. Secondary region will take care of the resources, right? So here, for example, this user is accessing data from primary region. Is enabled is configured replication. So data is replicated. So here these three files are replicated to the second region. So is access from primary region is down. What will happen? Directly the files will be accessible from secondary region without any manual intervention. Automatically it will be accessible. Right? So without any delay, we can access our data from other region. That is nothing but so replication failover. So load balancer we'll discuss later while working on auto scaling. In AWS we have one service which is auto scaling. While working on auto scaling, we'll go deep dive. Right? Next one. So Linux servers we are using in real-time projects. Backend, 99% of the projects they are using Linux servers only. Why Linux? What are the importance? Right? What are the reasons? See here. So Linux is a free, open source, very secure. So many distributions available. So many flavors in Linux. Ubuntu, Fedora, CentOS, Amazon Linux, RHCL, right? SUSE Linux. Different flavors available in the Linux, right? So why we require that many flavors? Why we require that many versions? Because in real-time projects, we are using different tools. Different tools will support different flavors, right? Yeah, so Ubuntu, Jenkins will support Ubuntu, RHCL, Kubernetes support, right? Docker supports CentOS, like the different flavors support different tools, right? That is why so many distributions available in Linux and the fast performance compared with Windows. This is very faster, right? So no viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs. No costly repairs here. So compare with Windows, right? So whenever any threats released, whenever any virus released, directly attack to the Windows servers, right? So no slowdowns. Windows systems will get slowdown issues. So normally in real-time projects, every month we install patches. What is patch? Anyone? What is patch?
Like upgradation of the server or the downgradation of the server, where we are giving some sort of information to the servers to do that action.
Updates, server updates, right? In our mobile, Android mobile, we get updates, right? Every month we get updates. So when we install that updates, it will support latest applications. The same way, server side, desktop side, laptop side also, we get some updates from Microsoft and the Linux, Red Hat, right? Yeah, so that updates we have to install. So in real-time projects, whenever we install any patches or updates in Windows servers, make sure that server should be restarted. Otherwise, servers will not work properly, Windows servers. But Linux side, without restart also, we can use the servers. In our previous project, we used to use Linux servers. So last 5 years, we haven't restarted the servers, Linux servers. Without restart Linux servers, we can work well. The servers will work well without any issues. But Windows servers, make sure you have to reboot, restart once you install any updates. So in Linux side, no crashes, server crashes will not be happening, but Windows side crashes will be happening, right? So that is why project is here. So am I audible now? Due to network connectivity issues, is disconnected. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so here in real-time projects, most of the projects they are using Linux servers only because of the security and so many distributions, free, open source, fast performance, no viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs, right? So in our projects, in our sessions also we use most of the servers we use Linux servers. Okay, yeah, Linux is very straightforward. Don't confuse with command line, but very straightforward. Okay, when we execute the commands, will be executed, not like Windows. Windows will be having navigations, but Linux is straightforward. Simple commands are there. Okay, yeah. So these are the things. Yeah. Any questions up to here? Anyone? Yeah. Someone asked me some question. What are the? Yeah. See here.
Hello.
Explain the syllabus, right? Someone asking syllabus here.
Hello. Can you hear
AWS,
me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Yeah. I just posted one question to you directly. Like, do you explain the relationship between the DevOps and AWS, or do you explain separately, like features of DevOps separately and AWS separately?
Yes, yes. Good question. Yeah, first we'll start with AWS. So tomorrow we have a holiday, right? So tomorrow festival, right? So we don't have session tomorrow. So day after tomorrow, we'll start AWS, right? Once we complete the AWS, then we'll work on Linux sessions. Linux, once complete the Linux, we'll jump into DevOps. So AWS we discuss separately, DevOps we discuss separately. But while working on DevOps, AWS required. AWS is a platform. On top of that, we integrate all the tools. That is why we are going to learn AWS first. So once DevOps completes, then again we'll come back to GCP, Azure. Those also platforms, right? Yeah, I'll show you content, course content here. So I think this is
So
Mokshi, right?
finally, initially we'll have the separately, but finally we'll relate everything, right? DevOps and AWS finally will relate everything.
Yes, without AWS, we cannot work on DevOps tools.
Yeah,
AWS is a
yeah.
platform. I already shown you this course content. See,
Yeah, after looking into this course content, I just have a doubt. So whether do you explain separately, or do you show the relationship? Because everything, whatever you want, that will be run using this AWS, because every application will be hosted in the EC2 instances, right? So, and this Docker and will be useful for that. So do you show the relation between them or not? So I just want to,
yeah, definitely. Relation. What is relation here?
like,
What is relation?
relation in sense like whatever the application that we are using in this AWS, so that will be handled by DevOps, right? Like, handle in sense like we'll use the DevOps. So whether do you show how we will use AWS with the DevOps or not?
Right. So if you want to create server, for example, we require Kubernetes server. How can you create? You want to integrate Kubernetes. How can you integrate Kubernetes? Required AWS. In AWS only create the servers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you want to work on Jenkins, you require AWS, Azure, or GCP, any platform required, right? So in that platform, we can create server. On top of that, we integrate DevOps tools, right? So we require platforms first. Then only we work on tools, right? So don't confuse anywhere. So we'll go deep dive, okay? So yeah, one by one, slowly we'll go. First, we'll enter into AWS. So Thursday, how to create AWS account, how to connect AWS account, what are the services available instead of the AWS. We'll walk through all the services. Give overview on Thursday. Friday, we'll start working on services. Slowly, slowly we'll enter into EC2. EC2 is the first service to create servers. Okay, tomorrow holiday. So most of the people requested for holiday. So other batches also we give holiday, right? So that is why. So tomorrow we don't have session. Tomorrow we'll connect and we'll start it.
Sir, in the group
Hi
we
sir,
don't
I
have
have one doubt.
yesterday's class video, sir.
Right. Still we are in basics, right? That is why, yeah. So definitely I'll share in the group yesterday's video, today's video.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. So day after
I
tomorrow,
have
we'll start working on cloud. Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yes.
yes. So I have one doubt.
Go ahead.
So I'm looking for
Hmm.
both DevOps engineer as well as cloud engineer roles. So I just want to know
Hmm.
if the AWS, the most of the services in AWS are being covered in this course or not, or I have to take a different course for AWS. I- I'm just looking
So
for
no need
both
to
of
take
the
other
roles
course for
right now.
AWS.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
Fine. In AWS, we are going to cover 18 services, which are very core services, important services. Those
Okay.
are enough to you. Those are enough to you. So in
Okay.
AWS, we have nearly 40 services. 40 services we don't require, right? If you learn 40 services, you don't have any openings on only AWS. Again, you have to learn Kubernetes. Again, you have to learn uh, Jenkins, right?
Right.
So AWS separately, we don't have any positions. If you search in Naukri or LinkedIn, only AWS, there is no jobs, right? So whatever services required for DevOps engineer, those we are going to cover. So
And
in real-time projects, just a minute, please. In real-time
yeah,
projects, 80% of the services will be taken care by AWS vendor only. Other 20% we have to take care. AWS vendor will take care of zones, regions, major activities, right? So other 20% as a DevOps engineer, we have to take care. Yeah, go ahead, Balaji.
okay. So another one question. If I also
Hmm,
wanted to go with the solution architect role,
hmm, hmm.
is this cloud
Right? These are enough.
the
I'll guide you.
syllabus?
For, for example, if you want to go with solution architect, right? So
Yeah.
these services are core services. So if you are good in these services, you can easily add that other services also. But we don't get scope to work on other services. These are the core services. If you are, yeah, in AWS, Azure, GCP, whatever core services are there, those we are going to discuss in our sessions. If you want to learn AWS, it will take 2 months, but not required basically. Okay. So in real-time
Okay.
project,
So
we don't get that much of scope to work on the full services. Yeah,
okay. So I have to take an additional AWS course, is what you are recommending?
not required. Not required. I'll guide you. If you want to add more services, how can you add those services? I'll guide you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Any other questions, anyone? Yeah. So everyone should make it ready, your systems, your laptops, right? Yeah, from Thursday onwards, we'll start working on AWS. So creating account, log into console, right? So what are the services available in the console? We'll see one by one slowly, right? So cloud is very simple. Cloud is very easier to handle. Okay. Yeah. So AWS is most user friendly. AWS, right? Yeah. So anyone newly joined today? Anyone newly joined today? So can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address so that recording session we provide you. Anyone newly joined today? So I can provide my mobile number. My mobile number is 964221117. So this is my mobile number. You can take down. So if you have any questions, the guys who have joined today, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, you can call me, WhatsApp me. We'll discuss. Thursday, 1 hour only. Friday we'll see that. Friday also planning to take 1 hour only because initially you have to understand when we enter into the cloud, right? Slowly we'll go. Monday onwards mostly 1.5 hour. Monday onwards. Okay. Yeah. So we stop
Sir, I have
here.
one doubt.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
So for this course, Without videos, how
Without
much is the price?
without videos,
Yes.
you can reach out to me. We'll discuss that offline. Okay.
Okay.
So
And
by default, we provide videos. Without videos, with videos, there is no course. Okay.
okay,
By
okay.
default, we provide. So if you have
So,
that type of questions, you can reach out to me. We'll discuss on it.
okay, okay. So,
Okay.
when you say videos, will it be in separate portal or it is just the recording classes we are having?
Recording classes only. For
Okay,
example, today's session is completed. Same recording will provide to you.
okay,
Without recordings, there is nothing here, right? So by default, we provide recordings. There
okay,
is no course without recordings. Okay.
okay. And one last
Because you
question.
need to practice, right? Once we complete the session, you need to practice. We require recording, right? Yeah. Go ahead,
Yes.
please, Balaji.
So, one last question. So, how many real-time projects we will be working on here?
Okay. So we are going to cover 3 live projects. Along with this, we'll be cover more than 10 simple projects, small projects, while working on different tools. While working on Git, I provide you, I show you one project, small project. While working on Jenkins, while working on AWS, while working on Kubernetes, like that one project I'll show. So these are the 3 live projects. Once complete all the tools, all the platforms, we'll work on this live projects.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah. Fine. So Monday, yeah, not Monday, Thursday onwards, we'll start working on cloud. Okay, tomorrow holiday. So Thursday onwards, we start working on cloud. If you have any questions, so anyone newly joined today, if you want to talk to me, you can reach out to me. We'll discuss. Fine. Yeah. So we stop here. Fine. Thank you all.